I'm going to go over my first grader's curriculum picks. So she will be joining my oldest for some things and being separate for some things. So for the things there, I'm just going to go through like I did in my fourth graders video, subject by subject. And so the first subject being Bible, we are going through Joshua and Judges from the Patterson Smith commentary. I don't use the commentary for anything other than like word pictures to help them visualize something better as I read through that. But you can use that commentary to show you where you're going throughout the year. And so we will be going through 1 Samuel 8 this year from Joshua through that. And then for our New Testament, we'll be doing Matthew. For language arts, for reading, we have been going through the McGuffey readers, and then we do our word building. And so we kind of break it down into, we open up, and if we haven't read the section, we'll go through these words, and I'll have her read me the words, and any words she can't read, we'll then write on the board, spell with our letters. She'll find it in the actual reading for that section. She'll use it in a sentence, and then she'll write in her word book. So that's what we have been doing for our reading lessons. She is honestly a very fluent reader, but given that it's her first actual year of school, it is hard to not do it. So we are going to do it, and I will also be having her read from some of her actual school books at this time too, just because she could. With my first grade, we were not doing that, but this child particularly could. For writing, we will continue with me teaching her handwriting. She has been doing some handwriting this year because she's 6 now. So like she's been doing some reading lessons. She's doing some handwriting. So it's like a very gentle introduction, but next year will be her official first year in school lessons. But because she's 6, she's doing some stuff now. So we will continue with copy work and for her, and working with the cursive and print alternating days. That is it for her language arts. Then we have her recitations. She'll be doing passage from Joshua, Judges, and 1 Samuel, and then 3 passages from Matthew, 3 Psalms, 3 poems, and 3 hymns. So that is our recitation. Then for history, she is doing America First alongside her sister, and we will also be doing Heart and Soul. And then, so those are her spines with her sister. They're being combined. And then she will also have her biographies. So a few of the options are going to be Buffalo Bill by Dallaire, Abraham Lincoln by the Dallairs, and then the story of George Washington Carver, and Frederick Douglass Fights for Freedom. And then we have this Garrard biography on William Sherman. So that is our biographies if she happens to get through all of those, which she very well might. I have Meet Andrew Jackson, Meet Abraham Lincoln, and Meet Robert E. Lee, and The Adventures of Lewis and Clark by Decay. So those are some options if she finishes those. So that is our history that we'll be doing this year for the 1800 to 1900 time period. Then for geography, we are continuing. We've just been doing like a lesson once a week about in the New World at Home. And so I had bought the PDF version. I have since purchased the actual like physical copy of the book of the New World at Home. And I also purchased their I just haven't gotten it yet. I also purchased the pictures for the New World at Home. And this has been great. She really is a visual. She loves taking in the pictures and looking at them and really, really looking at them. So this has been a great addition for her for geography. And then she will start going through elementary geography. She has not done this book yet. Her oldest sister is finishing this book this year, and then she will be going into it. And then we will be doing the early lessons of the map making with children that her older sister did. Her dad taught my oldest that. And so they had a great time doing that together. And so that might be something that we keep in the afternoons as something to do fun with Dad. Also, for some of her term work, we have this geography from A to Z. And it is all the different, like, what is an archipelago, right? And so, like, it goes through different landforms. And so we might read about them in here and then build them in our sand trays just to get comfortable with the basic terms of geography. So that is geography work that's ahead for her. And then for literature, we have, no, that's not in this pile. Okay, we have the Blue Fairy book. So we will be doing 3 fairy tales per term, so 9 total out of this book. So that's not actually a lot because there's a ton in here, but just the Mason idea of slow so that they can really take in the fairy tale. So that's what we're doing there. And then as they practice narrating, Aesop's Fables is one that they do 3 fables per term. 3, that's it. So 9 total. Once again, there's tons of them in here. And so, but they do them slow, and it gives them time to narrate and think on them and work from there. So from her, we will also, or for her, we will also be doing her term novels. So she will go through 5 Little Peppers, and I also have 5 Little Peppers midway. My first daughter did not like 5 Little Peppers, to be honest. She liked it at first, but by the end of it, she did not want to do another one. She enjoyed it well enough, but not that much. So we did not, sorry, I'm going to move you over here. So we did not go on to pursue the rest of that series. Then we have Pippi. Pippi goes on board, and Pippi in the South Seas. So my oldest loved Pippi and wanted all the Pippi books. And so that is, I think there's actually one more out there, but I have not found it or bought it yet. And then Winnie the Pooh and the House at Pooh Corner. So those are the 3 different terms. So Milne, Lindgren, and then 5 Little Pepper series. So that's what we'll be doing for her novels. Then for her poetry, I'm going to be doing the complete book of the Flower Fairies. This is my very unicorn-loving princesses and all things magical daughter. And I think she's going to love that book. So we're going to do that book for 1 term. But then we are also going to do Eugene Field, hello, and that's not right. Oh, William Blake isn't on here. James Whitcomb Riley. So those are her 2 that we're doing, because we're doing Walter de la Mare this term, and we just did Christina Rossetti last term. So we're going to do the other 2 in this anthology, and then the Flower Fairies for my youngest daughter. And then for Spanish, we will be continuing with Charlotte Mason Simple Spanish 2, and then moving into 3 with her. And we are continuing to do the Cherry Dell Press Spanish book as well. For drawing, we will be continuing the brush drawing course with Simply Charlotte Mason until that's done, doing the Sabbath Mood brush drawing stuff that we found on her website, and then doing the yellow book that I talked about in the other video in the 4th grade. That is about drawing textbook. That's what it's called. And then working on her 6 brush drawings for nature. So wild fruits, twigs, and then wildflowers per fall, winter, and spring term. And then memory drawings, nature memory drawings, imaginative drawings, outline drawings, and so on and so forth. Okay. Music appreciation, we're doing Chopin, Saint-Saëns, and Tchaikovsky. And then for art appreciation, we're doing Homer, Monet, and Van Gogh. For art appreciation, we're getting the picture portfolios. For music appreciation, Tilbury. It was on Etsy, and we got her things, and that has been great. Solfa, she's technically not doing solfa, so technically she's doing singing games, which we just add in like a fun game like a Tisket a Tasket, or we did Miss Mary Mac, one of those clapping games. So they're just like a fun game to play. And then we'll do the 2 folk songs in their foreign language, which they learn through Simply Spanish. And then she will probably tag along with her sister for solfa. She might not. If it doesn't work out in our cards, then I won't. But if it can, then I'll just have her join that. For music, she does piano as well, and they do Hoffman Academy for that, and that's been going well. For Swedish drill, I'm looking into another option since we were doing Dawn Duran, and I have gotten stuck on the marching one, and I don't necessarily see like the progression that we're moving through, because we very much have we did 1 and we did 2 with the movements, but now we are trying to figure out how to progress forward. So we also will do housework and cooking, so she will learn some of the things that her sister previously did, like making scrambled eggs and making peanut butter and jelly and things like that. And just kind of like working on helping to make lunches, and so that the kids are kind of working together to do that eventually. And then she will be learning some new tasks, like cleaning the bathroom sink is probably going to be her main one for the first term, but we'll figure out other ones from there. And then she has started embroidery, and she will continue her embroidery work next year. She started paper folding this year, and will be finishing the paper folding and then moving into paper modeling. We continue to do our service projects, like making hats for Hat Tree at the library, making OCC things for our boxes and things like that. And then for our crafts, she enjoys weaving, and so we'll probably do some of that. I'll probably have her and her older sibling join together for that. For math, we are she will be on the Charlotte Mason Elementary Arithmetic Series Book 2 next year. She is on pace to finish Book 1 this year, but not to get much further than that. So that's where she should be next year. And then for science, we are doing, put this here. We are doing Nature Lore out of Dallas Lore Sharp's series. Spring in the air. Okay. So that's one of our Nature Lore books. Our other Nature Lore book choices are Birds of the Air and Trees and Shrubs by Arabella Buckley from the Eyes and No Eyes series. And then she will be doing Nature Explorers B, which comes out in May, which is looking at wildflowers, fruits, birds, mammals, non-flowering plants, birds, and animals in winter, and wildflowers, trees, and amphibians. and then she will start keeping her nature notebook as well. And then I think that's it. Yes. So then she'll have some historical fiction and some other reading aloud. So that will do. But that is the main stuff for during lesson time with her. And I am looking forward to it. It should be a fun school year. It's exciting to revisit some of these things that I've already done. And so it's nice to not have to do a ton of pre-reading. I just have to pull out my previous pre-reading stuff that I've done for these, skim them back over, and then move on. Also, it helps that her and her sister are doing the same history. So even though this is a new section of the history for me, I only have one book to pre-read because they're in the same stream. So that's extremely helpful as well. All right, there's not much else. So I'm going to get going, but just wanted to get this video out as I did the 4th grade one yesterday, and that just uploaded this morning or whatever. And so hopefully this one will upload quickly and you guys will have this one right away too. All right.